back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it was my wedding anniversary today, 7 years. My wife was like, "Are you feeling the 7-year itch?" I'm like, "We've been together 10 years. I started feeling the 7-year itch 3 years ago. I've been itching for 3 years, but it's been 7 long years. It doesn't feel like that long ago though, but it also does. It also feels like a million years ago. It's the wedding that doesn't feel like it was that long ago. The wedding feels like it was just yesterday. All the shit in between the wedding and now, that feels like it's taken a million years. But the wedding was one of the best times of my fucking life. I've been meaning to do an episode or two about the wedding for about a year now, I think. People have been asking me to talk about the wedding, and I keep on fucking forgetting it. I'm not trying to avoid it, I just forget it. I forget shit for a year. Longer than a year. I forget shit for a long time. I will do an episode exclusively on the wedding though. It was over 2 weeks. I had like 30 or 40 friends and family there. Like 20 of my best mates throughout my life came as well. Some of the wild cunts. And there was like 5 events over 7 days. It was fucking hectic. And then there was partying in between and afterwards. And everyone was there for fucking pretty much 2 weeks. It was fucking wild. But I'll do a full recap of the wedding within the next week, alright? For those of you who have been asking over the last year to talk about my wedding, I'll do it in the next week. And I also recently just got the video of my wedding back. It's like 8 hours of fucking footage, but they had it on Blu-ray discs, so I was never able to watch it. So I sent them back to India, got them ripped onto a USB, and the USB sent back. So I watched some of the video back, refresh my memory, and then I'll do an episode of it. And maybe I'll even chuck a few clips up there as well. I watched a little bit of the first one a couple of nights ago, and I'm looking a little bit fucking chubs. I thought I was in pretty good condition then. I was wearing some pretty nice tight white shirts, a few Indian fucking gowns, kurtas, and you can clearly see the shadow of a sucked in gut. And I have a bit of a bloated booze head during it too. Did I ever tell you the story about 2 of my mates being arrested during the wedding? Not during the fucking ceremony shit. While they were in India, 2 of my mates got fucking arrested. Dino and Gav. I'm going to have to tell you that story if I haven't told you, because that is fucking typical retards fucking up. And it's a good fucking story too, because these 2 guys didn't even fucking know each other. They just knew each other at the wedding, and then they got into a whole heap of fucking shit. But anyway, that's a story for another day. There was a few events there too. There was like 5, 6 different events. The wedding story could be a long fucking episode. Could be a 2 or 3-parter. But now, instead of telling you any of those interesting stories, any of those stories that are worth listening to, I'm going to tell you a story about how I went to dinner on my 7th wedding anniversary to an Italian restaurant, a nice Italian restaurant, and I had spaghetti and bread, and it triggered my irritable bowel syndrome from gluten, and I spent about half an hour shitting upstairs. And there was some poor bitch waiting for the toilet, and I fucking knew. So being the gentleman I am, halfway, I knew I wasn't finished, but halfway, when I heard someone pulling at the door waiting, I decided to flush the toilet, just so the aroma wouldn't completely fill the room. But then I had a full cycle left, so it didn't really fucking help. And when I'm walking out of the toilet after a fucking horror show like that, and someone's waiting there, I try and make eye contact with them. I try and tell them with my eyes, don't go in there. If you can wait a minute, just fucking hold up. Don't just fling the door open and walk in there like there's nothing in there. There's an invisible enemy. There's a wall you're gonna fucking run into. That's what I try and tell them with the look. You're not ready for what's in there. Just hold back a minute. But I can't eat bread or pasta or anything like that anymore. It just triggers. It just fucking triggers me. But apart from that, it was a lovely night with my special lady who was trying to get a buzz on. And she was doing a pretty good fucking job at it, actually. She kept on saying, "You know what I can't believe? I can't believe I married that fucking idiot I met at the bar all those years ago. It still shocks me. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe I married that drunk fucking idiot at the bar that night." And I'm like, that doesn't sound like you can't believe it. I'm interpreting that as you're regretting it, which I totally understand as well. Can someone tell me what the fuck you meant to do on anniversaries? Like, what are you meant to talk about? Is it meant to be a year in review? Like, we did pretty good. We got through another year. Well done. Congratulations. Let's get stuck into another year. Let's see if we can't make it fucking 8 this year. Or do you sit there and start talking and check if you're still in love? When is the wedding anniversary where you don't give a fuck anymore and you just sit there in silence and the only thing you say is, that was nice. That pork needed a little bit more salt, but it was nice and tender. And that's all you say. Just comment about the food you're eating. They are the best years, the silent years, when your spirit has been so thoroughly crushed that you can't even be bothered speaking anymore. I can't fucking wait for those years. I think that's double digits, isn't it? You got to be married like over 10 years to get into the silent phase. Maybe 15, but it's worth hanging in there for that. You don't want to start again. You want to get to those fucking silent years. It's like a cop retiring, getting his fucking watch and retiring. You don't want to get to 14 years, then get divorced and start again. And then it's another 15 years to get to the silent years again. What a fucking nightmare. Those were the silent years. Isn't that a Bowie song? I think it is, the silent years. Anyway, it's been 7 years of marriage and I've enjoyed it thoroughly for at least 4 of them. Which is good, that's over 50%, that's like 60%. Who can complain with 60% perfection? I know who can. Anyway, that's it for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around with your friends. Hit me up on social media. I am Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you the fuck later.